The colony of Nova Epsilon 7 sat quietly on the edge of human space. Its blue oceans and green valleys gave the planet an almost peaceful look. Yet, beneath the calm surface, the people worked tirelessly to keep the colony alive and growing. Scientists studied new plants, engineers mined rare minerals, and pilots trained every day to protect the colony. The humans had grown used to the silence of space. Few ships passed by. Most humans knew that the nearest alien civilization lay several light years away. But that calm was about to end. Far above the planet, a massive shadow spread across the sky. The aliens called themselves the Zetherians, and they were a proud, warlike race. Their ships were enormous, shaped like jagged crystals, and their fleet numbered in the thousands. From orbit, their sheer size was terrifying. They did not arrive quietly. Their energy weapons hummed with power, and the colony's alarms began to scream. Report. Commander Lena Ortiz shouted from the bridge of the colony's main control tower. Her brown eyes scanned the holographic display, showing dozens of massive alien ships forming a crescent around the planet. Lieutenant Miko Chen spoke quickly. Ma'am, they are scanning our defenses. They haven't attacked yet, but their energy readings are off the charts. If they fire, we won't survive. Lena clenched her fists. We won't just survive, Lieutenant. Remember what we always say, leave it to us. Her voice was calm, almost too calm. It carried confidence that made Miko pause. Humans had a strange way of facing danger. They never panicked. Even when faced with impossible odds, in the alien fleet, the commanders were puzzled. They had monitored humans for decades and assumed that Earth's colonies were primitive and fragile. These humans had no massive warships, no powerful energy weapons like the Zetherians. Yet the calm, confident response confused them. They are unafraid, said Admiral Vrax, the largest Zetherian commander. His tentacle-like limbs gestured toward the holographic map. They do not panic. They are foolish, or they are hiding something. Back on Nova Epsilon 7, the colony had begun to prepare. Engineers moved swiftly, activating emergency protocols. Mining ships were converted into patrol vessels. Civilian drones were fitted with makeshift shields. And every available human scientist, miner pilot, or technician was assigned a task. In the shipyards, Jared Malik, a young engineer, oversaw the refitting of old cargo ships into defensive units. We don't have their firepower, he said to his assistant, Tina Valdez, but we have brains, and we have speed. That can beat brute force any day. Tina nodded, tightening a control panel. It feels impossible, Jared. Thousands of alien ships, and we're just a few hundred humans. Jared smiled. Impossible is just a word. Humans like us make miracles every day. The aliens did not know what to expect. Their standard tactic was to attack with full force and crush human resistance. They did not anticipate creativity or courage, especially not from such a small colony. Hours passed. The alien fleet adjusted its formation, and finally, their weapons charged. The humans could see glowing energy beams forming in space, powerful enough to destroy entire cities. Panic might have overtaken anyone else, but humans worked steadily, calmly, and even cheerfully. Children were evacuated from the lower colonies. While adults prepared improvised defenses, Lena walked through the colony's control center, speaking to each group. Remember your training. Focus on what we can control. Nothing else matters. Her voice had a steady rhythm like a drum beat. People followed her instructions without hesitation. In orbit, one of the Zetherian commanders frowned. They're calm. It is unnatural. Why do they not fear death? Admiral Vrax's voice was cold. They are weak. They are primitive. Fear is irrelevant to them because they are about to die. But Vrax did not know humans. Fear was not the only force driving them. Humans had something different. Determination, and the ability to work together in ways the Zetherians could not predict. Down on the planet's surface, Lena Torres, a young pilot, prepared her patrol ship. Her hands shook slightly, not from fear, but from excitement. This is it, she said quietly. Time to see if all our practice pays off. Her co-pilot, Ravi Singh, smiled. I don't think it's about luck. Humans don't have luck, we have grit. The first shots came suddenly. A massive alien cruiser fired its energy beam toward a mining station. The building shook violently as alarms blared. But the humans had expected this. Shields raised just in time, using the planet's magnetic fields to deflect most of the energy. Sparks flew, machines groaned, but no one panicked. In another sector, engineers created a chain reaction. Old mining drones, linked together, formed a mobile shield wall that rolled toward the advancing alien fighters. Tiny drones swarmed around them, confusing alien sensors. What the Zetherians expected to be easy targets became obstacles they could not understand. From orbit, Admiral Vrax growled. "What is this sorcery? Their ships should be destroyed by now." "It is not magic," said a subordinate. "They are clever. Their defenses change constantly. Every attack we make is countered in unexpected ways." Meanwhile, on the planet, Lena's voice came over the colony's network. "Every human, every ship, every drone. Do your part. We are not weak. Remember, leave it to us." That phrase, simple, yet full of power, resonated across the colony. Humans worked faster, sharper, more creatively. One team of engineers rerouted energy from a decommissioned research lab into a force field that extended over the valley, protecting civilians below. Another team used the colony's mining lasers to create light traps. Blinding alien sensors for crucial seconds, even the children played a role. Assisting in small ways, carrying messages, delivering tools, and keeping morale high. The aliens could not understand how a species so small could coordinate so effectively under pressure. By the end of the first day, the humans had survived multiple strikes. Some buildings were damaged, and a few drones destroyed, but the colony stood. The aliens had lost ships, their sensors confused, their calculations flawed. Admiral Vrax stared at the display, astonished. They survived. They should not survive. They are unpredictable. Back on the planet, Lena watched the aliens' fleet from the control tower. Her face was calm, but inside, her heart raced. This was just the beginning. She knew that the humans' real strength was not in weapons or numbers, it was in their ability to adapt, to think, and to act as one. Jared Malik stood beside her, looking up at the stars. "They don't understand us. They never will. And that is exactly why we can win." Tina Valdez smiled. "It feels like a miracle." Lena shook her head. "It is not a miracle. It is humans being humans. Clever, brave, and united. That is all it takes." As night fell on Nova Epsilon 7, the colony lit up with energy and life. Humans worked together, prepared for the next strike. The aliens circled the planet like predators, unaware that their prey was far more dangerous than they imagined. And somewhere, across the vast distances of space, humans whispered once again, quietly but firmly, "Leave it to us." The aliens had no idea what was coming. They had underestimated humans, and underestimation was always dangerous when it came to Earth's children. The morning sun rose over Nova Epsilon 7, casting a golden glow across the planet's valleys and oceans. From above, the alien fleet still hovered, like a dark cloud that refused to move. The Zetherians had expected fear, panic, or surrender, but humans remained calm. They had survived the first night. Now they were preparing to fight back. In the colony's main control tower, Commander Lena Ortiz stood before a holographic display. Lines of energy from alien ships traced unpredictable patterns in space. "They are adjusting," she said quietly, scanning the readings. "They are trying to anticipate us." Lieutenant Miko Chen shook his head. "They've never seen humans fight like this. They don't understand our tactics." Lena nodded. "Then let's show them." Below, the humans worked like a single organism. Engineers converted cargo and mining ships into nimble fighters. Civilian drones were equipped with jammers and shields, ready to confuse the alien sensors. Miners brought in heavy machinery, repurposing drills and cranes as weapons. Every person, no matter how ordinary, contributed in the fleet's forward observation. Admiral Vrax's eyes widened as he watched the humans prepare. They are turning their environment into a weapon. How is this possible? Perhaps. They are not relying on weapons alone, said a subordinate. They are using thought, creativity. The first strike came quickly. A group of Zetharian fighters descended toward the colony, their energy weapons blazing. Most humans were not armed with traditional military ships. They had something else: imagination. Lena, Torres, and her small team of patrol pilots took to the skies in modified cargo ships. "Follow my lead," Lena said, her voice calm but firm. She guided the ships through a canyon, using the narrow cliffs to hide from the alien sensors. The Zetharian fighters fired blindly, their beams slicing through empty air. Lena's team emerged behind the aliens, their ships swarming like shadows. With a coordinated strike, the humans disabled the engines of 3 alien fighters using targeted electromagnetic pulses from modified mining lasers. On the ground, engineers had prepared a surprise. Mining drones, connected with energy conduits, formed a mobile shield wall. The drones moved forward like a living barrier, confusing alien targeting systems. Several alien energy blasts collided with the shield and dispersed harmlessly. Sparks flew, but no humans were injured. Jared Malik watched the battle unfold from the control tower. "It's working," he said, eyes bright. "We're using what we have, thinking differently, and it's confusing them." Tina Valdez nodded. "They can't calculate human unpredictability. That's our advantage." The Zetharians had never faced anything like this. Their advanced targeting systems could destroy conventional defenses. But humans moved too quickly, improvised too cleverly, and thought too differently. In orbit, Admiral Vrack slammed his clawed hand on the command console. "These humans, they adapt faster than any algorithm. Every strike we make is countered in ways we cannot predict." "Commander," another Zetharian said, "they are not using the same logic as us." "Perhaps they are." "Dangerous?" "Dangerous," Vrax repeated, his voice low. "Yes, they are unpredictable, and unpredictability is lethal in war." Meanwhile, on Nova Epsilon 7, humans launched their first counterattack. It was not about brute force. They did not have the numbers, but strategy, timing, and imagination. Engineers activated old mining lasers in a new way. By focusing multiple beams at specific angles, they created a field of light and energy that blinded alien sensors for precious seconds. "Now," Lena shouted. Patrol pilots surged forward, targeting the disoriented Zetharian fighters. A few ships were destroyed, while others retreated. Confused by the humans' unexpected moves, children, safely evacuated to underground bunkers, watched the sky through reinforced windows. They did not fully understand the danger, but they understood courage. Every small light in the sky, every move by the humans, felt like hope. In another part of the colony, engineers devised another clever trick. They used a network of satellites and drones to simulate energy signals, creating phantom targets. Alien ships fired at the illusions, wasting precious energy and ammunition. Meanwhile, humans struck real targets from angles the aliens could not see. Lena observed all of this calmly. She knew that human strength was not in overpowering enemies, but in thinking differently. They were not just reacting. They were innovating. Humans fight like this because they never accept the impossible. "Wait," she said quietly to Miko. "They find a way." Every time. The Zetharians had never seen such courage or coordination. Each time they thought they had humans cornered, the humans adapted. Ships moved unpredictably, shields shifted positions, and energy was redirected in ways the aliens could not calculate. Admiral Vrox growled as another group of fighters was destroyed. "This is not war. This is chaos, and they are thriving in it." Back on the planet, a young engineer named Ravi Singh oversaw a team rerouting energy from industrial plants to defensive systems. "It's working perfectly," he said, adjusting the controls. "We're turning everything we have into a shield. Nothing they fire can break it all at once." Lena's patrol team returned after a successful maneuver. "We hit them where it hurts," she said, "but they'll come again. And next time, we have to be ready." Jared nodded. We will be. We have the brains and courage. That's more than they have. As the day wore on, the Zetherians realized that conventional tactics were useless. Their fleet was massive, but humans were fast, clever, and fearless. They could not predict human actions because humans did not follow predictable patterns. Prepare for full assault. Vrax bellowed. Crush them all at once. But humans were ready. The colony had created a system of overlapping defenses, improvising at every turn. Drones, mining lasers, repurposed ships, and human ingenuity combined into a network that turned each alien attack into a failed attempt. Even when alien ships tried to concentrate fire on a single target, humans moved it at the last second or used decoys. The aliens' numerical advantage meant nothing when humans made every action count at the colony's control tower. Lena looked at the damage reports. Few human structures were lost. Minimal casualties. The humans had survived the first major strike. Not bad for a day's work, she said quietly, smiling at the screen. Miko Chen laughed softly. They'll have to adjust their expectations soon. Humans do not give up. In orbit, the Zetherians regrouped. They are. Beyond our calculations, Vrax admitted. They are. Capable, the subordinate whispered. They are unpredictable, yes, but courageous. Perhaps that is what humans excel at. Vrax's eyes narrowed. Courage alone cannot win wars. But combined with ingenuity, perhaps these humans are more dangerous than we believed. On Nova Epsilon 7, humans prepared for the next wave. Engineers and pilots worked tirelessly, modifying equipment, sharing ideas, and testing new defenses. Each small victory gave them confidence. Each clever move confused the aliens further. In one quiet moment, Jared Malik looked at the stars and whispered, "They came thinking we would fail. They didn't know what humans can do." Tina Valdez smiled. "They are about to find out." As night fell again, the humans of Nova Epsilon 7 were still alive. Still fighting, still daring to challenge an entire armada, and above, the Zetherians realized that this war would not be easy. The humans were more than they seemed. They were clever, adaptable, and fearless. And they had one secret weapon that no alien technology could predict: their minds, their courage, and their unity. Once more. Across the planet, the phrase echoed quietly but firmly. "Leave it to us." The aliens did not yet understand that these words were not empty. They were a promise, and humans always kept their promises. The alien fleet lingered above Nova Epsilon 7, massive and menacing like dark mountains in the sky. Admiral Vrax studied the humans below, frustration growing with every passing hour. The humans had survived attacks that should have destroyed entire cities. Every strike from the Zetherians had been anticipated, countered, or avoided. "They adapt to fast," Vrax growled. "They learn from every move we make." "It is infuriating," the subordinate hesitated. "Perhaps they are not just surviving. Perhaps they are preparing something." Vrax's eyes narrowed. "Then we must see what it is. Strike harder. Strike everywhere." But the humans were already ready. They had learned much from the first encounters. Every system in the colony was networked for defense. Drones, mining machines, ships, and civilian volunteers worked together like a single organism. Every day brought new inventions, new improvisations on the ground. Commander Lena Ortiz stood at the control tower looking at the alien fleet's movements. "They are trying to overwhelm us," she said calmly. "But we have one advantage they will never predict: they don't understand us. They cannot predict human thinking." Lieutenant Miko Chen nodded. "Then let's make them see it." In the orbital docks, Lena Torres and her squad prepared for another sortie. This time, their mission was not only to defend, but also to strike back. "We know where their weak points are," Lena said. "We just have to hit them together." Her co-pilot, Ravi Singh, adjusted the targeting system on their modified cargo ship. Every move has to be perfect. One mistake and we're finished. Lena, coordinating from the ground, had devised a bold plan. They would not try to match the alien ship for ship. Instead, they would target the command ships, the core of the alien fleet, using unconventional methods. On the planet, engineers had prepared another clever innovation. They used old communications satellites to create a network of false signals, drawing alien sensors toward phantom targets. At the same time, energy from the colony's reactors was redirected into a series of high-intensity pulse lasers hidden among the valleys and hills. When the aliens launched their next attack, they were met with chaos. Their sensors detected dozens of human ships, only to find they were illusions. Their weapons struck empty space while humans targeted them from angles they could not predict. Jared Malik, overseeing the ground operations, shouted with excitement, "It's working. Every command ship we target is getting disrupted." Tina Valdez pointed to the holographic display. "Look at the readings. They're firing blindly. They can't handle this." Lena's squadron surged forward, using the false signals to guide them. They moved like shadows, fast and silent, striking alien ships with precise pulses. 3 command ships were temporarily disabled, creating confusion throughout the alien fleet. In orbit, Rax's claws clenched tightly. "Impossible. Our command ships cannot fail like this. They must be cheating." Admiral, another Zetharian, said cautiously, "They are not cheating. They are clever. They are thinking faster than our calculations can follow." Vrax growled, pacing the deck. "Then they are dangerous. More dangerous than we imagined?" Meanwhile, on the ground, civilians played a quiet but essential role. Miners and technicians operated machines to keep defenses running, rerouted energy to shields, and repaired drones mid-battle. Even children contributed, delivering tools, monitoring small systems, and cheering the adults. Lena watched all of it from the tower. She knew that humans' real power was not their weapons or technology. It was their ability to adapt, cooperate, and act with courage. Every person had a role, and each role mattered. Together, they formed a network the Zetharians could never calculate. As the battle raged, humans continued to surprise the aliens. One pilot used the planet's gravity to slingshot her ship around a command cruiser, hitting it from behind before it could fire. Another squad of engineers used electromagnetic pulses to temporarily disable several fighters, sending them crashing harmlessly into the valleys. Admiral Vrax bellowed in frustration. "This is not war. It is madness. How can a single species survive against us like this?" A subordinate replied softly, "They are not just surviving. They are turning the fight against us." Vrax's eyes narrowed. "Then we must crush them all at once." No mistakes. But the humans were ready for this. Lena had anticipated the possibility. She had positioned drones and ships to intercept attacks from every direction. She had engineers ready to reroute energy instantly, creating shields wherever the aliens struck. Every human in the colony was connected through communication networks, allowing immediate coordination. In the skies above the planet, Lena's squadron executed a daring maneuver. Using overlapping gravity fields, they created a small zone where alien ships' engines became unstable. Several fighters tumbled out of formation, their movements erratic and predictable. Human pilots moved in quickly, disabling them one by one. On the ground, Jared Malik activated another innovation. Using the colony's mining lasers, he created a focused light beam that disrupted alien targeting sensors. Sparks flew and beams of energy scattered harmlessly, leaving the aliens confused. "Now," Lena shouted. The humans coordinated a series of strikes aimed at the weakened alien command ships. Beams of energy, pulses, and small drones worked in perfect harmony, hitting targets from unexpected angles. Several alien ships were destroyed, while others were forced to retreat to avoid collisions. The Zetharians had never seen anything like this. Their fleet was massive, their weapons powerful, but the humans' creativity and coordination were overwhelming them. Every prediction they made was wrong. Every plan failed. Vrax's tentacles trembled with anger. "We are not prepared for this. How can such a primitive species fight with such skill?" "They are not primitive," a subordinate admitted reluctantly. "They are humans, and they are remarkable." On Nova Epsilon 7, the humans took a moment to breathe. They had struck back successfully, disrupting the alien fleet more than anyone thought possible. Some ships were destroyed. Some command centers disabled temporarily, but most importantly, they had proven that humans could fight back intelligently and courageously. Lena landed her ship near the control tower, her face shining with determination. "We did it," she said softly. "We showed them humans are not weak." Ravi Singh smiled. "We're just getting started." Jared Malik looked up at the stars. "They came thinking we were fragile. They don't know the power of human minds, human courage, and human unity." Tina Valdez nodded. "And they are about to learn." As night fell, the alien fleet hovered above the planet, battered, confused, and unsure. The humans had turned the fight in ways no one expected. They had not just survived, they had struck back. Using intelligence and courage instead of sheer force, Lena Ortiz stood on the tower, looking up at the stars. "This is only the beginning," she said quietly. "We will continue to fight. We will continue to innovate. And no matter what they do, we will never give up." Across the planet, humans whispered again, their voices carrying a quiet but firm promise. "Leave it to us." The aliens did not yet understand that those words were more than confidence, they were a declaration. Humans would not only survive, they would challenge and overcome. Using every skill, every mind, and every ounce of courage they possessed, the turning point had arrived. Humanity had proven that cleverness, courage, and unity could change the course of battle. The Zetherians had thought the humans were weak. Now they knew better, and the humans, calm but determined, were only getting started. The alien fleet had been in orbit for days, massive and silent, like a shadow that refused to lift. Admiral Vrox paced the command deck of his flagship, fury growing with every failed strike. Every attack he ordered had been countered. Every prediction had failed. The humans were nothing like the Zetherians expected. "They are impossible," Vrax growled. "They adapt faster than any algorithm, faster than any weapon can follow. How can a species survive against us like this?" A subordinate spoke cautiously. "Admiral, they are not just surviving. They are turning the fight against us. Perhaps this is not survival. Perhaps it is strategy." Vrax's eyes narrowed. "Then it is time to end this. Destroy everything. No mercy." Below, on Nova Epsilon 7, humans had been quietly preparing their boldest plan yet. Commander Lena. Ortiz gathered her team in the control tower, her eyes calm but focused. "This is our chance," she said. "We have the technology, the minds, and the courage. We will not just defend, we will show them the power of human ingenuity." Lieutenant Miko Chen leaned over the holographic display. "They won't see this coming. Our planetary defense is ready. Every drone, every ship, every system is linked." "Yes," Lena agreed. "We are not strong in numbers. We are not strong in firepower. But we are strong in thinking, in adaptation, and in courage. That is what will turn this fight around." Across the valleys and hills, engineers moved swiftly. Mining lasers were positioned at strategic points to create a network of energy barriers. Satellites and drones were activated to confuse alien sensors. Even the colony's natural environment, gravity, wells, magnetic fields, and solar flares was carefully mapped and included in the plan. Jared Malik and Tina Valdez oversaw one of the key operations, a concentrated energy field designed to disrupt alien engines. "This is it," Jared said. "If this works, we can disable their fleet without direct combat." Tina nodded. "And it will all happen at once, like a single heartbeat. They won't know what hit them." In orbit, the aliens prepared another full-scale attack. Ships powered up, energy beams crackled in the void, and missiles charged toward the planet. They believed overwhelming force would break the humans. They believed destruction was inevitable, but humans had already prepared. Lena gave the command. "Initiate the planetary defense plan. All systems, full coordination now." Immediately, the valley lasers fired in precise sequences, creating a lattice of energy that deflected and absorbed incoming attacks. Electromagnetic pulses from hidden drones disrupted the alien targeting systems. Phantom signals from satellites tricked the Zithians into firing at empty space. Lena Torres and her squadron took to the skies, using gravity-assisted maneuvers to strike alien command ships at unexpected angles. Small, nimble ships hit massive alien cruisers, disabling engines and communications temporarily. Every strike was calculated, coordinated, and unpredictable. On the ground, engineers used redirected energy from industrial reactors to power a planet-wide shield. The aliens' most powerful beams collided with the barrier and dispersed harmlessly. Sparks illuminated the valleys, casting a glow like auroras across the landscape. Jared Malik watched the displays, awe in his eyes. It's happening. The whole plan. It's working. Tina Valdez smiled. The impossible is becoming possible. Above the planet, Admiral Vrax's voice trembled. Impossible. How can this be? Our fleet? Our weapons? They should overwhelm them. Yet everything's failing. They are. Shh. Humans, one subordinate whispered, awe mixed with fear. And they are. Extraordinary. The Zetharians launched desperate maneuvers, trying to adapt. But every response the humans had predicted. Every move had been anticipated. Drones blocked sensors, decoy signals fooled targeting systems, and laser grids disrupted engines. The alien fleet was forced into confusion and retreat. Meanwhile, Lena's squadron executed a daring attack on the alien command ships. Using momentum from the planet's gravity, they slingshot behind cruisers and struck weak points with precision energy pulses. Several ships erupted in controlled detonations, sending shock waves through the alien formation. On the surface, civilians and engineers coordinated seamlessly. Miners delivered tools, repaired drones, and monitored energy flows. Children assisted, where they could, carrying messages, operating small controls, and cheering the adults on. Every action contributed to the greater plan. Lena watched calmly from the tower. "This is humans at our best," she said softly. "Clever, brave, and united. No one else in the galaxy can do what we do." The Zetharians were stunned. Ships were disabled without massive combat. Command centers were disrupted without boarding or direct attack. Their fleet, which had seemed unstoppable, faltered against humans' creativity and coordination. Admiral Vrax roared in frustration. They are miracles. They're not miracles," a subordinate said softly. "They are humans, and they are unstoppable when united." In the skies above Nova Epsilon 7, energy beams crossed, drones darted like swarms, and ships moved with precise timing. It was a symphony of human ingenuity. Every element worked together, creating what the aliens could only describe as a miracle. On the ground, Jared and Tina monitored the results. "Look at the readings," Jared said, eyes wide. "They are retreating. The alien fleet is falling back." Tina smiled. "We did it. We really did it." Lena's voice came over the network. "All humans, stay alert. They may regroup, but today we have shown them who we are. Today, we proved that courage, intelligence, and unity can achieve the impossible." Even the children, watching safely from bunkers, understood. Humans could not be underestimated. They had turned a desperate situation into a triumph. Every small action, every clever idea, every ounce of courage had combined into a victory. Admiral Vrax stared at the retreating fleet, disbelief in his eyes. They survived. They turned the tide. A subordinate spoke quietly. "They are. It's not like anyone we have faced. They are humans, and they are remarkable." Back on Nova Epsilon 7, the colony celebrated quietly.
Oh.
There were no grand parades, no loud cheers.
Oh.
The humans did not need them. They had accomplished something extraordinary, not through power or numbers, but through creativity, courage, and unity. Lena stepped out onto the tower balcony, looking at the planet she had sworn to protect. "We will rebuild," she said. "We will improve. But we will never stop being humans. Clever, brave, and united." Jared Malik joined her. "Do you think they will come back?" "They might," Lena said. "But they will never underestimate us again. And that is all that matters." Tina Valdez stood beside them. "It feels like a miracle." Lena shook her head. "No, it is humans. That is all it takes. Above them, The stars shone brightly. The alien fleet had retreated, confused, frustrated, and amazed. They had witnessed what they could not understand. Humans had survived attacks, struck back cleverly, and turned the impossible into reality. And the humans, calm and determined, whispered once more, quietly but firmly, "Leave it to us." The Zetherians had expected surrender, fear, and weakness. Instead, they had found intelligence, courage, and unity. They had seen humans turn defense into offense, improvisation into strategy, courage into triumph. The miracle had unfolded, and the galaxy had witnessed it. The alien fleet had finally retreated. Dark shapes moved away from Nova Epsilon 7, leaving silence where chaos had once reigned. For the humans on the planet, it was a quiet victory. There were no fireworks, no grand celebrations, just relief, pride, and a sense of accomplishment. Commander Lena Ortiz stood on the control tower balcony, watching the empty skies. Her face was calm, but her heart still raced. She had led her people through the impossible, and they had survived. They had proven that human ingenuity, courage, and unity could face even the greatest threat. Lieutenant Miko Chen joined her. "They won't forget us," he said softly. "Not today. Not ever." Lena nodded. "They will remember, and so will the galaxy. Humans are not weak. Humans are not predictable. We are formidable." Across the valleys, engineers and pilots worked tirelessly to repair damage, restore systems, and check equipment. Civilians helped wherever they could, proud to be part of something larger than themselves. Children ran through safe zones, carrying tools or messages. Their laughter a small reminder that life would continue in the orbital docks. Lena Torres and Ravi Singh cleaned and refueled their ships. Lena looked at the horizon, where the last alien ship disappeared into the void. "We did it," she said quietly. "We really did it," Ravi smiled. "And they will think twice before ever underestimating humans again." On the surface, Jared Malik and Tina Valdez checked the pulse of the colony's energy grids. "Everything held together better than I imagined," Jared said. "We turned chaos into order," Tina nodded. "It wasn't just machines or lasers. It was humans thinking, acting together, never giving up. That is what made the difference." Far across the stars, alien observers recorded everything. Admiral Vrax watched his fleet in retreat, disbelief written across his features. "They survived," he muttered. "They turned our attacks into miracles. They are." "Humans," a subordinate said, quiet but reverent. "And they are. Extraordinary. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, strategically. I've never seen anything like this." Vrax clenched his claws. "Perhaps they deserve respect. Perhaps they are. More than we imagined." Back on Nova Epsilon 7, Lena addressed the colony through the communication network. "Today we proved something important. We proved that humans, united and courageous, can face impossible odds. Every single person here contributed. Every action mattered. And together, we turned what seemed impossible into reality." Her words were met with quiet pride and smiles across the planet. There was no need for celebration banners or parades. The victory was in the knowledge that they had survived, adapted, and triumphed. In orbit, alien scouts returned slowly, sending signals of inquiry rather than attack. The Zetherians were cautious, respectful, and aware that the humans were not a species to be underestimated. A smaller alien ship approached the colony. Landing carefully in a designated clearing, out stepped a Zetherian envoy, unarmed and calm. Lena met them at the edge of the landing zone. The envoy spoke in careful human language. Having studied Earth's communications over decades, Commander Lena Ortiz, the Zetherian, said, "We acknowledge your species' strength, courage, and intelligence. Today, we witnessed what we cannot understand but must respect. Humans are remarkable." Lena's eyes were steady. "Thank you. We do not seek war, but we will defend ourselves, and we will always find a way to survive. Humans never give up. Humans never surrender. That is who we are. The envoy bowed slightly. Then, perhaps there is hope for peace. And perhaps humans deserve the respect of the galaxy. As the alien ship departed, a quiet sense of pride filled the colony. Humans had earned something far greater than victory. They had earned respect. Not only from their people, but from the galaxy. Across the planet, engineers repaired and improved. Pilots shared stories of daring maneuvers. Children retold tales of courage and cleverness. The story of how humans had turned the impossible into a miracle spread quickly, not through words alone, but through every action, every repair, every clever solution. Jared Malik and Tina Valdez stood on a hillside overlooking the colony. "Do you think they'll ever attack again?" Tina asked. Jared shook his head, smiling. "Maybe, but now they know something important. Humans are not easy targets. We are clever, fast, brave, and united. No one can underestimate us." Lena Torres joined them, looking at the stars. "It feels like we've changed something. Not just for Nova Epsilon 7, but for everyone watching. Humans are different now," yes, Lena said, walking up beside them. "Today we proved it. Today we showed the galaxy that courage, intelligence, and unity can achieve what seems impossible. Humans are a species that cannot be ignored." Night fell over Nova Epsilon 7, and the colony glowed with life. Lights from energy shields, repaired drones, and working ships sparkled like stars mirrored on the ground. People moved calmly but efficiently, knowing that life would continue and that the future was theirs to shape, somewhere across the galaxy. Other civilizations had watched the events unfold. Reports of human ingenuity, coordination, and bravery spread quickly. Allies and neutral species were inspired. Enemies reconsidered their strategies. The name of humanity carried weight, respect, and cautious admiration. On the planet, Lena stood once more at the control tower balcony looking at the horizon. The aliens had left, but humans had changed. They were no longer simply survivors. They were a symbol of hope, courage, and intelligence. Jared Malik approached her. "Do you think the galaxy will ever see humans the same way again?" Lena smiled softly. "I think they will. Humans have always been underestimated, and every time we've proven that courage, cleverness, and unity can overcome anything. Today the galaxy saw it for itself." Miko Chen joined them, nodding toward the stars. "Do you think they'll try again?" "Maybe," Lena said, "but it will never be the same. Humans are ready. Humans are clever. And humans never give up. That is what makes us unstoppable." Children's laughter echoed from the valleys below, a reminder that life continued, that hope endured, and that humanity was strong. Engineers and pilots continued their work, quietly preparing for whatever challenges might come next. Even though the aliens had retreated, the humans were not complacent. They had learned, adapted, and grown stronger. The colony had survived impossible odds, turning near destruction into a story of ingenuity, courage, and unity. And once again, as the stars twinkled above, humans whispered quietly but firmly, a phrase that had guided them through impossible moments: "Leave it to us." The Zetherians had expected fear, surrender, and weakness. Instead, they had witnessed something extraordinary. They had seen a species that could take danger, think differently, and turn despair into triumph. Humans had not only survived, they had inspired, impressed, and changed the perception of their species across the galaxy. The galaxy had learned a truth it could not ignore. Humans are clever. Humans are brave. Humans are united. And humans never surrender. The miracle had unfolded. The lesson had been delivered. And humanity stood taller than ever, ready for whatever the universe might bring next.